Okay, in this example we're going to have a look at some errors made by students when we're dealing with some very simple powers. On the board I've written 3 squared down. I'm going to do that in a couple of ways, and I've written 3 cubed down. The biggest mistake that people make when they're working out 3 squared, if they're not quite sure what they're doing, or perhaps under the pressure of an examination when they're having to work and think quickly against the clock and so on, is that they write down that the answer to 3 squared is equal to 6. I think it's quite clear how 3 squared equals 6 comes about. They've obviously multiplied 3 times 2 to get the 6. It's not so much that they think that 3 squared means 3 times 2. What the mistake is that quite often students will memorise that we've got a multiplication sum, which we do have, and in that multiplication sum you've got 2 3's, which we do have. But of course what the temptation then is to work out is, if you say to yourself you've got 2 3's, it's actually to multiply 2 times 3 using times tables. And 2 times 3 gives 6, which is the answer that is written down by many students. Now patently that is quite obviously the wrong answer, because what 3 squared actually means is simply 3 multiplied by itself. So it actually means 3 times by itself. So it's quite true to say that when we've got 3 times 3, you do have a multiplication sum, and you do have a multiplication sum with 2 3's in it. But it's 3 times 3, not 2 times 3. It doesn't mean 2 3's as in 2 lots of 3. So it's not 2 times 3, it's 3 times by itself, and 3 times by itself gives you 9. So that is the correct answer. Now, funnily enough, quite often some students who would get this one actually correct, if they work out 3 squared, they do actually put 9. When they come to do 3 to the power 3, they start making mistakes then. So they've got this one right, but they start making mistakes on the power 3 version. Once again, what they tend to do is they remember it's a multiplication sum, and they remember that it's a sum that involves 3 3's, which it does. So what they do is they work out very quickly in their head, especially when they're in a bit of a rush, what 3 3's are, and 3 3's are 9. So they write the answer 9 down. And of course that's the wrong answer, because we've already seen that 3 squared is equal to 9, so 3 cubed can't be 9. So how are you supposed to work out 3 cubed? Well, just remember, it's really simple. Write it out slowly in longhand. 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3. Yes, it's a multiplication sum, and yes, there are 3 3's in that sum, but it doesn't mean 3 lots of 3 which equals 9. What it means is you have 3 times by itself times by itself, and if you work that out you get an answer of 27, which is the correct answer. And so there you go, there's the very simple little mistake that lots of students make, so you be careful of this please. 3 to the power 3 doesn't mean 3 3's, 9, and 3 to the power 2 doesn't mean 2 3's, 6. It means 3 times 3 times 3, 27, or in case of 3 to the power 2, 3 times by itself, which gives 9. And that's the end of this short video on mistakes that people make with powers.